Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another tutorial. Here's where we left off in the last lesson. We dragged and dropped an FPS controller into our scene. We'd implemented a skybox and terrain and added a texture. And we have the directional lighting just temporarily while we create our scene. So let's go ahead and add some vegetation to our scene. Now I'm going to use the standard assets which come with Unity, so we'll come to standard assets, environment and speed tree. And as you can see there are three examples, but I'm just going to use the broadleaf for the purposes of this video. So let's go ahead, we'll drag and drop that into our scene and we'll hit play. Now as you can see it's a very good looking model which comes with Unity. And we'll stop that there. Now I'm going to zoom in. Now as you can see the tree has colliders already attached. We can see them all here and round the trunk here. So when we walk up to it we can't walk through to it, them colliders prevent us from doing that. But if I stop that there, you may find, and I'll explain the reason why I've said this, is that some older models especially do not come with colliders attached. Now if this happens you may find you're able to walk through the tree. Now if this happens to you with any models you're using, it can be fixed quite simply by just coming to add component, physics, and use something, let's say for a capsule collider for the trunk. So let's go ahead and we'll alter some of these values. Let's try a value of 4. You may see it just there moving if I alter it again. And let's try the center up a little bit. And as you can see, that's the collider I've just added, this one here, coming down and round. And just tweak the values until the collider fits the tree. And then once you've done that you can then create a separate prefab with the collider in place. And as you can see I've created a prefabs folder and you can just drag and drop that model into there. And now if I drag that onto the scene, as you can see it already has the capsule collider in place. But because these come with colliders already, I'll delete that. I'll delete the one out of my scene and I'll delete the one here. And we'll come to our terrain and make sure that you're on this one here, little tree icons, and we'll click edit tree and add tree. And we'll just come back into our standard assets and we'll drag and drop the broadleaf model onto there and we'll click add and we'll come to terrain again and we can do exactly the same thing for the grass. So we'll click add grass detail and we'll come to environment, terrain assets and billboard textures, and let's just drag one of these on. And obviously you can add more should you want, so we could add a second one here and we'll add. And the way this works is fairly self-explanatory. We have the brush size which you can see for yourself there, and we have the opacity and we have the target strength. And the brush size and the target strength are probably the ones most people tend to adjust. So let's go ahead and we'll start placing some grass around and we'll click on this one and we'll mix that in. We'll hit play. So we'll stop that there. Now these are just the standard grasses that come with Unity, so you may want to again get on the asset store or some other websites and look around for other grass textures, but this is just an example of how these work. Let's go ahead, we'll turn the brush size up and we'll just paint that in there. Just come back to it for a moment. And we'll just mix in a little bit of the other. Just for example purposes. Now if you find the grass is too dense, you can just alter the brush size, hold down shift and just start going through and deleting. Now it would only delete of the selected model, so you might have to go through once or twice depending on how many grass textures you're using. Just go through until you find a level you're happy with. And the same with the tree. We can come here, we'll click on trees, and we have brush size and tree density. I actually think the density is a little high. I'll turn that down. And we'll just come and we'll just place a few in there. I'll just click gently round. And again, I'm doing this very quickly just for example purposes. You know, you guys should really spend a long time and really make your scene look good. But that's how you add grasses and trees to your terrain. So I'll stop that there. And we'll actually leave it for here for this lesson. Now, obviously, I've basically done this extremely quickly just for demonstration purposes. And always remember, you can do the same. Do you hold down shift for the trees? You know, if you've put too many in, just Control Z them back. Actually, I've done this very quickly for demonstration purposes, but obviously you guys need to spend as much time as needed to really make your terrain look as good as possible. It may take a long time, especially if you have much larger terrain, but it really is worth doing. As I said, in my final project I'm going to use a pack, but I just thought it'd be good to go through some of these basic tools so you guys can see how they work. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, until next time, bye for now.